Yo, what's going on guys, Arax here and welcome back to another Division video. And in this video, I wanted to put together a quick guide to explain by far the quickest and easiest way to gear up to max gear score in the new 1.3 update. And what's more, this is something you can do both solo and with a team. It will quite obviously be quicker with a team, but regardless, this is something that you can all benefit from. So if you do enjoy this and you do find it helpful, then a like would be super appreciated, and let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions. So to begin with, the new max gear score for gear pieces is 268 and the new max gear score for weapons is 229. There are obviously multiple places you can go to get this gear. For example, the new high value targets can drop max gear score items. You can also go into the new 231 plus gear score bracket Dark Zone and get max items from both boss drops and, believe it or not, Dark Zone chests too. And you can obviously head into either the new or old incursions and get the appropriate level gear drops from the respective difficulties. However, by far the easiest, quickest and most reliable way to gear up is to head down into the Underground. The Underground is where you go to do operations, which are the new randomly generated dungeon-like missions. Each time you go into one, you have a random objective, a layout, an enemy type, and upon completing it, you get some loot. Now these can be done on normal, hard, challenging and heroic, and again, the loot drops from there are appropriate for the difficulty level you do it on. And also the rewards are then amplified if you factor in modifiers too. However, outside of all of that, there's also a new rank for you to obtain, and that is your Underground rank. I'm not 100% sure what the max rank is. I would hazard a guess that it's 40, given that you need to be rank 40 to buy the best stuff from the vendor. But every single time you rank up, you get an Underground cache. And when you open these, they can give you max gear score items. And this is the secret to gearing up fast. Now it's worth mentioning that Massive said in the special report livestream that the gear that you get out of these Underground caches is somewhat relative to your current gear score. In other words, if you open one of these and you were, say, gear score 180, you would get a better item and an item that is an improvement on your current level, but perhaps not the max. However, if you are already pretty highly geared, for example I opened mine when I was gear score 225, then the item that I got in return was a max gear score 268 gear set piece, one of the new sets too. I also then opened up a few more and I got 229 weapons and additional gear pieces on top. And this alone, ignoring all of the potential loot that you can get from the Underground operations themselves, these Underground caches are your key to gearing up fast. Whether you're a solo player, a tightly knit team, or a player that hasn't played for a while, is pretty undergeared, and is looking for a way back in, this is your key. See, every single time you complete an Underground operation, you get some XP, and if you find any hidden collectibles within, they also give you XP. At the base values, a normal mode operation with no directives gives you 500 XP, hard mode gives you 750, challenge mode gives you 1000, and heroic gives you 1250. Now, as mentioned, this final XP can be increased if you add on directives, which are basically modifiers that make things a little bit more difficult. The more you add, the more XP you get as a reward, and also the better rewards you get in the process. But again, putting that to one side for a moment, my team actually use hard mode as the quickest way to farm Underground levels. We can complete a hard mode operation in about 5 minutes, that's a quick 750 XP, and the second you finish, you dive straight back into another one, do it again until you rank up, and every time you rank up, that is another Underground cache. I believe these also have a chance of dropping if you're really lucky, but regardless, with a potential max cap of rank 40, that is a total of 39 caches you can get simply by playing through and leveling up. And this is of course something you would want to do anyway because you're most likely going to want to buy the weapons from the vendors, so rank 40 is inevitable. And if you're a solo player, then it would be quite easy to solo normal mode. Sure, your progression is going to be a little bit slower, but you will progress nonetheless. Admittedly, depending on how you're geared, you could probably solo hard or challenge, but you also need to think about the time it takes you and the XP you get in return. If it takes you, say, 30 minutes to solo a challenge operation, for example, and that gives you 1000 XP, if in that same time you could have, say, done 5 normal mode ones, and they all give you 500 XP, then of course it's not worth it. This is all about the maximum XP gained in the shortest time possible. So, do whatever is quickest for you, do whatever makes most sense, but in short, if you are looking to gear up, you simply want to play the Underground operations until you rank up, and you then open the caches to get better gear. However, one of the super important things to remember, even if the gear you get isn't part of your set, if it's an improvement in gear score, make sure you put it on, because if it raises your gear score, then the next time you open a cache, it has a much higher chance of giving you better gear still. If you're already highly geared, then you'll be getting 268 and 299 items off the bat, like I did, and if you're a little bit lower, then again it will likely fill the gap and gradually help you increase. Also remember that this can be done on multiple characters. If you hit Underground rank 40, you could then say go onto a second character, pass your gear across and begin ranking up another character for another 39 Underground caches. And while hitting rank 40 will take some time, this morning in the 3 hours that I played, I ended up around Gearscore 233, and 269, who got a little bit more lucky with drops than I did, ended at 246. So in a very short space of time, you can gear up pretty efficiently. And that's it. Hopefully that helped you. If it did, then again, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know if you have any questions. And thank you for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.